everyone, I'm Captain Logan, and it's time to add some brand new acquisitions to the ever-growing comic book vault. Today we're going to take a look at 4 new books, and one book that just came out last week. Let's in fact start with that one. It's Justice League number 12. And I gotta tell you, with New 52, if I were a cat, curiosity would have killed me by now, because this seems to be what I do with 52. I will find out about something like this. Oh, Superman and Wonder Woman are getting together. I don't know if that's going to stick. I'm so confused with New 52 as to what is exactly canon with what and all of that kind of stuff, like I've talked about quite a bit. And so it's hard to get really excited and invested in that kind of stuff, but still I'm curious and I kind of want to know. So I went ahead and bought Justice League number 12 just to take a look at it. You know, I haven't read this book since the first arc. I read the first 6-issue arc of Jeff Johns and Jim Lee's run on this, and was not extremely impressed with it. So do I feel bad about buying this book? No, absolutely not. This was a fun read. I really enjoyed it. I gotta tell you though, there's a lot of this stuff going on right now with Jim Lee. Every now and again, I'll flip some of these. I'll flip through some of these, even though I haven't been keeping up with it, and I'll notice all these extra artist credits. It's really unfortunate that Jim Lee's not able to draw a whole book, and some panels feel more rushed than others. Although I'll tell you, there are still a couple of really great couple-page spreads and things like that that still look like, you know, Jim Lee's best work. So, spoiler warning, Superman and Wonder Woman get together in this issue. You know, you can tell because they're kissing on the cover. And that's actually kind of the big reveal that it ends with. Kind of interesting that they're using that to sell the book and using it as a giant reveal at the end. But that's okay, whatever. I can completely understand why you would want to put that on the cover. And, you know, it's working, it's selling books. Basically, this is about Steve Trevor getting kidnapped and the Justice League having to save him, and basically all of that leads to a big discussion about whether about how the Justice League should look at themselves. Should they see themselves as above humans, as equal with humans? They do have these great superpowers, and they feel like they have a duty to try to save as many people as they can, but then what does that mean for them and their mortality? What does that mean about how they function in society? All of those are very interesting questions. I think that Johns is handling it quite well, and I like this notion that Superman and Wonder Woman are starting to kind of consider a relationship, and really it's kind of spontaneous, due to the fact that that Wonder Woman is having a very difficult time seeing herself not as above humans like Steve Trevor, and that ultimately maybe the only kindred spirits these kind of superhumans have is each other. This is a question that has certainly been tackled before. It's something that people have talked about a lot over you know, decades and decades of comics. Does it really make sense for Clark Kent to date a Lois Lane? Wouldn't it make more sense for him to be with somebody who was superpowered? I can kind of understand the notions on both sides. I am still in the camp of wishing that Clark was with Lois. Call me a purist, but at the same time, New 52 is going to do what New 52 is going to do. This is kind of this is somewhat new territory. Not that it's never been explored before, but if it actually sticks for a while, it could be interesting to see Superman and Wonder Woman dating and what that would be like. It's something that I would certainly be willing to stay with and explore if I had a sense that it was going to stick around and not be summarily dismissed in a couple of issues. That's my worry about it. With just what we're given here, though, with the whole kidnapping plot, and with this novelist who wrote about the Justice League, and who's kind of the villain in this, and he has, I won't give this away, but he has an interesting motivation and seems like a real person. Johns is doing fine with this book. I really was kind of surprised. I was quite okay with this, and again, the only thing that would irritate me is if this didn't last very long, because it's kind of a big thing, and I would just hope that, you know, it didn't just last 2 or 3 issues. The next thing I want to talk about is, let's jump around a little bit, Ultimate Spider-Man, number 14. This is probably the most fun I've had with this book in a while. I thought that this was this is a great time. It starts heavy and it ends light, which is really fun. The cliffhanger from last issue was Captain America has shown up to tell Miles Morales that he can't be Spider-Man, and this issue opens with that argument. Captain America, why he can't be Spider-Man, and then Aunt May and Gwen Stacy and even Mary Jane trying to tell Captain America that he's being unfair, that they should let Miles Morales be Spider-Man, which I think is really interesting, considering that I think it's interesting that Aunt May and everybody has come around to now, you know, we need to let Miles Morales be Spider-Man. He is, and I really like the line, why won't you let Spider-Man be Spider-Man? They really see him that way now, and there's this argument that Captain America takes responsibility for the death of Peter Parker because he didn't train him like he was supposed to. And so they're somewhat even kind of blaming Captain America for the death of Peter Parker. And so this issue after that is basically Miles Morales trying to prove to Captain America that he should be Spider-Man. And it's great fun. He has this great line. There's a fight with the Rhino, and he has this great classic Spider-Man line where he says, I really like how he's really starting to come into his role. And Miles says, I was gonna put on my Rhino suit today, and boy, that would have been embarrassing. This is a really great book. I really quite enjoyed it. Next up, Venom number 24. So Cullen Bunn solidified on this book now. He started his solo stuff last issue, and I gotta tell you, this just is not my cup of tea. It's okay, it's not bad, it's just not what I look for in this book. And again, like I said last issue, I'm looking forward to this arc with the whole follow-up of the Hellstrom stuff to be over with, hoping that Bunn will kind of take it back to more Flash Thompson character-driven stuff, because right now it's just with this Hellstrom arc, it's about a demonic possession and all this kind of horror monster stuff. It's just not what I'm into. Just not what I read this book for. It's not bad for what it is, but it's just not really my cup of tea. The art from Silas is great, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not what I look for in this book. So anyway, I'm looking forward to this arc being over with. Minimum Carnage is about to start up. I wanted to mention that for people who don't know about it, and who knows what that's going to be like. I thought Minimum Carnage was going to be another miniseries by Clayton Crane, and art by Clayton Crane, and in Zeb Wells' writing. That's not the case. It's going to be another one of these 3-issue story arcs that goes between books. So it's going to be in Venom, not in this order. But in fact, what is the order? It's going to be in Venom. It's going to be in Scarlet Spider, and I think there is like one issue that's a standalone thing called like Minimum Carnage Alpha. It's going to be one of those. Yeah, so it's Minimum Carnage Alpha, and then it's Scarlet Spider, and then it's Venom. So anyway, that's the order in case you want to take a look at that. I'll be buying that just because I collect Venom and Carnage, and anyway, we'll see how it is. The next thing I want to talk about is Action Comics number 0. Grant Morrison giving us the kind of pre-52 stuff. I haven't picked up any other 0 issues yet. I may buy some more next week. This is the only one that I've gotten so far. I may do 3 or 4 of these. I'm not going to buy a whole ton. Like I said, I'm not really excited about 52 right now, but I'm curious enough that I'll try out a few things and see what they are and report back to you. But anyway, I think maybe a lot of these, the whole idea is to give us pre-52 stuff for some of these characters, although I don't know if they're all doing that. But that's what this one does. It kind of gives us the beginning of Clark coming into Metropolis and hanging out with Jimmy Olsen and kind of what their relationship is like, and it's also this story called The Boy Who Stole Superman's Cape. And remember that it was established in the series that Superman's cape is kind of indestructible, and so Superman in one of his first missions actually loses his cape, and this boy steals it. And it's kind of funny because something similar was done in the big anniversary issue for Amazing Spider-Man recently, where somebody gets a hold of Spider-Man's costume. This is entirely different, but I just think it's interesting that we got 2 issues that are doing similar things like that a couple weeks apart from each other. But anyway, so this kid gets Superman's cape. He has kind of an abusive parent coming at him. I think it's a parent. I was a little bit I was a little bit unsure of who exactly this drunk guy was supposed to be, but anyway, he's being abused, and the kid has the cape and is able to kind of stave him off. Because of the cape, and it's kind of this whole Superman giving people strength kind of stories, both physically with the cape and also emotionally, and that this whole instance has a lot to do with why Superman ends up being called Superman. It's pretty solid. It's not bad. The artist is Ben Oliver, who I'm not familiar with, and I think compliments Morrison pretty well. I was pretty okay with his artwork. Anyway, last thing I want to talk about is Spawn number 223. Still got these parody covers going on with Todd McFarlane and Spawn, and these have been a lot of fun. This one is Spawn of the Dead, so it's a Walking Dead cover parody, and these have been a whole lot of fun. I can't wait to the next one, because the next one is a Dark Knight Returns parody. And that one looks really, really cool. I can't wait to get my hands on that. I'll tell you, I'm buying Spawn right now more for the covers than the stories, and also just because I collect it. I tried to drop this book, but I have so much Spawn, and I've been collecting so much Spawn that I decided to go ahead and keep on it, even though I'm a little lost in the story and not real excited about what's going on. So all I'll say is, we are still very, very, very slowly getting the past of Jim Downing and how he is connected to this group that had been doing these terrible experiments on people, and how maybe he was the leader of that group, or a leader of that group, or something. And now here we get a couple of big reveals. One of them is that they apparently used notes from Nazi scientists. That's kind of interesting. And the other is that Jason Wynn was a really big part of it, and so McFarlane is obviously trying to really tie a lot of this stuff back to old Spawn continuity, regardless of not having Al Simmons in right now. And so with Wynn having a lot to do with manipulating this whole mad scientist group, and then with Trimmer from last issue in the previous issue, it's obvious that this whole like evil mad scientist angle is supposed to play in with the supernatural heaven and hell stuff kind of simultaneously, and it all kind of goes together. It's kind of interesting. I got to tell you, but it's a little dull also. I really want to go back to issue 200 and just kind of binge read these, hoping that I don't fall asleep, because it really is just kind of slow. I'm wanting to kind of binge read 200 to up to current, just to see what I've forgotten and what I'm kind of missing, because it's really tough to read this month to month. And I know that I've talked a lot about certain books that I didn't like when I read them separately, but I loved them when I put them together. I'm not sure if that's going to happen with this, but I at least will probably have a better sense of what exactly is going on in it. Well, anyway, that's New Acquisitions for this week. Thanks a whole lot for watching, and if there's anything you ever want to see me review on the Comic Book Vault, you can always send me things either to borrow or to keep to our P.O. Box. That's Geekvolution, P.O. Box 14183, Lenexa, Kansas 66285. And thanks a lot for watching. I'm Captain Logan, and happy reading.